This is Full Bloom U. She is a UZ rank of the Slippery tribe, and is often considered to be the worst UZ in the entire game. Is that true? Well, I'm not sure if she is the complete worst, but she is definitely bottom 3. She's absolutely terrible. If we compare her to every other UZ that I have, the only one who really compares to her level is this form of Ryuta and this form of Ren. This form of Ryuta because he really serves no purpose. He is a Soultimate filler for a tribe that has Tensei Yusen, who is a damage dealer that doesn't need a Soultimate filler. And they also have Arle, who does Soultimate filling but way cooler. So his only purpose is stats, which Mysterious has. They don't need that, to be honest. They need something better than just stats, because all of their other characters have skills that are very necessary, such whether it be Unity, an Extreme Popper, or a Fast Fever. And then Ren, he has the very niche use of being on the Heartful team when you don't have the perfect Heartful team as your all-pop Inflate 4, so that way you can do more Santa Natsuyomi Fever Extender Ultimates. That's his only purpose. And at least he does it decently well, I guess. However, once you get like Orihime Natsuyomi, if you have a Summer Setsuna as well, then he has no purpose at all, and he would be probably the worst. But because he has the very, very, very niche use, I say he's better than you. So why is you herself bad? Well, if we just take a look at her skills, ignore that they're leveled up. I had to do that so I could beat the throne stage, so I could win and get the Y point bonus. Ignore that, okay? So she has Drop Big, which is already, that's good enough, because they have whatever form of Ren that Slippery has, whatever this guy's name is. I don't remember what it is, but he's a Link Big EX Popper, so he fits on the team pretty well. And then her second skill is Revive. Now this is the reason I say she is not the complete worst, because she is actually the highest ranking Revive for Slippery, which is useful because they don't have any triple Z rank revives. As far as I've seen, I haven't seen any triple Z rank revives. The best I've seen is double Z rank revives. She is their highest ranking revive, with their other options being double Z ranks. And she might not even fill that purpose well, because which one is it? I'm pretty sure it's Musician Venot. Yeah, he has Guard, so he can reduce enemy damage. He can reduce the damage that the enemies do to you. So, her only benefit being her higher stats, because she's a UZ rank, might not even be completely useful, because a double Z rank has Guard on top of Revive. So why am I dogging on her so much if she has Drop Big and Revive, which are both really good skills? Well, she not only is a Select Popper, meaning that she already does less damage than other characters, but she is also an all-attacker, so her damage is even lowered even further. Let's take a look at another Select Popper. So this is Yotsuba, I think. She is also a Select Popper, but she has a 206 point multiplier as a triple Z rank. Full Bloom U gets 158 points. That is pathetic. So her only benefit in the entire game is being a high rank Revive, which isn't even all that necessary, because if we just take a look at double Z ranks, wherever they are, this guy has Guard on top of Revive. So if you're lucky enough, he can just negate 3 attacks, basically. So it doesn't even matter. So let's take a look at just how bad Yu is. And we'll also go over why I don't think she is the absolute worst. Because there's actually a little bit of context that you need to know that she is not the worst UZ in the game. So here we have, I put on Emo U instead of Full Bloom U. Now the reason I did this is because she also has Drop Big. However, she is way better at using that Drop Big for Slippery compared to Full Bloom U. Because as you see, Ren has drop big. I mean link big, whatever. Same thing basically. And so when I use them, we get Extreme Popper, then we use Zochten, and we get a Fever Extend. Now, we just link some Zochtens, link a Ryuta. We use her, and now we have Zochten's G Soultimate back. But then we use Zochten again, and we get another Fever Extend. And then we just have to, well, I guess I just die, so. If I had better luck, I would have gotten another Zochten Soultimate. But oh well. And there we go. 1.2 million. About the amount of damage that Hyaki the Muncher and, whatever's face that I kept beating up in the last video. I don't even remember. I'm sick of looking at him. Izuna, I think is his name. Yeah, they both have around 1.2 million HP. So that's how much we had to work in order to get the 1.2 million HP. Now we are going to put on Full Bloom U. See our stats drop. Ignore how low my stats are actually, because her skill with Unity is only level 1 and his skill with Unity is like level 3, because I lack the skill books in order to level them up, because I haven't been able to bully a throne stage for like months. So I haven't been able to get a good method to get skill books, and I don't have the Y points to buy them anyway. So let's see how hard I have to work in order to get to 1.2 million HP. Let's go. Now, if I was better at the game and I actually used Ryu's Soultimate, that would have probably been around 1 million damage. And did you notice how much more difficult it was for me to actually get Soultimates off? Now, I could have probably just spammed Link Big with Ren. So let's do that. Let's just, we'll use Kagura's Zochten to extend Fever and buff everyone's damage. And then we'll only use Ren and Full Bloom U. The reason that I say it's really difficult to use a bunch of U's together is because they all look the same. However, Black Santa U specifically, she's like different enough with the Santa hat that you can barely tell them apart. The other ones are not very good at being told apart. Okay, well there's just too many of them. I have to. Could have been a G Soultimate. Alright, and we've used every Soultimate that I can. 1.2 million damage. Let's go. We did it. But now it's time to go back and see how many Soultimates it took me with each of them. Because, even if we might have a revive, that's still way more effort that I had to put in for that one. So yeah, let's check it out. So after reviewing the footage, it took 10 Soultimates total with you in order to match, actually not even match it, to get slightly below the damage that we got with 8 Soultimates when using Emo U. Now that doesn't sound like, the biggest difference. Oh, wow, like 2 Soultimates. Yeah, it's 2 whole counterattacks against Hyaki the Muncher. That would have been 4.4 thousand, not the biggest deal. But my Kagura Izachdin is only level 50 and G Soultimate level 1. And the first strategy revolves around spamming his Soultimate 3 times. So if I did level him up to level 90 and max out his G Soultimate, we could potentially get that much damage in, like, maybe 6 Soultimates, honestly. And then use, like, Black Santa U as a finisher Soultimate, and we're outside of Fever. It's possible. I don't know, and I don't have the skill, I don't have the resources to test that. But yeah, as you can see, Full Bloom U is actually terrible and is quite awful to use, even though she has high stats. So why do I say she's not the worst and is only bottom 3? Well, because there are actually 2 other UZ ranks that, while sure on their own, they might not be too trash. However, in the context of how you get them, they are quite awful. This is Itsuki. She is not one of the worst UZs in the game, and is in fact maybe one of the best. No, not even maybe. She is one of the best. She has Fast Fever and Fever Fill. No, not Fever Fill, After Fill. Fast Fever and After Fill. Built into one skill? Is that what it is? Was it actually built into one skill? That's cool. But yeah, she has Fast Fever, After Fill, and is an all-popper fever extender for the Brave tribe. She is absolutely amazing. However, in her event, you could only choose one of the 5 UZ ranks, because to get UZ Happy Wedding Itsuki, you needed to fuse normal Wedding Itsuki with earrings? It was either earrings or a literal wedding ring. But actually, no, I think the wedding ring was the G Soultimate booster that I used. So yeah, it was earrings. You could give normal Wedding Itsuki earrings, and she would become Happy Wedding Itsuki. She was unhappy in her wedding, I guess. However, let me just go pull up the Quintessential Quintuplets event in the doc sheet provided by Mao. So here we are, the Quintessential Quintuplets event. This is an event that gave us 5 UZs at once. However, unless you did some sort of exploit at the beginning of the event, you could only get 1 of them. And obviously you should have chosen Itsuki, because she is an all-popper fever extender with Afterfill and Fast Fever for the Brave tribe. However, the other 4 are definitely nowhere near as good. The best 2 are Nino and Ichika. Ichika, because she is an Easy Link Prefill EX popper for the Mysterious tribe, which, I mean, isn't awful. It's just that Mysterious's best EX popper has Fast Fever instead of Easy Link, and has Fever Fill instead of Prefill, so almost the same thing. And while it might be a lower lower rank, it's still Fast Fever. And then Nino is basically just Ava Unit 13, but a UZ rank. And instead of regular Prefill, she has Fever Fill. So, I mean, basically the same thing. And if you did give her the earrings, you basically just leveled up Ava Unit 13 Soultimate to level 8, basically, is the amount of damage it would do. And then you gave him Fever Fill instead of Prefill. But the other 2, Yotsuba, and sadly, my favorite design of the all 5, Miku. I have not watched Quintessential Quintuplets, but honestly, I probably should, because it looks interesting. These 2 are actually terrible. Miku, less so. But you definitely should not have given her the earrings, compared to definitely Itsuki, and even Ichika and Nino. You definitely should not have given the earrings to either of these 2, because if you did, you missed out on some really good yokai. Yeah, they're yokai. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how they died. So Miku is an all-popper rearranger, and using other Soultimates will fill her Soultimate gauge a little bit, and she has redrop. Okay, that's not awful. However, in retrospective now, we just so happen to get another shady UZ rank, who is an all-popper Soultimate filler, with Fever Fill and After Fill. literally straight up better stats. Yeah, sure, she's an all-popper rearranger, which is different, but Shady doesn't need a rearranger, they need a Soultimate filler, because two of their best yokai, Lolly Pecco and Boso Hinozal, both have drop big, which just makes it easier in order to use a Hinozal Soultimate again, then use a Pecco Soultimate to get another Hinozal Soultimate, and then use Hinozal again. Because the damage loop would basically be you can either use Boso Hinozal before you use Pecco or use him after, but he will boost the damage of Pecco, but in turn Pecco would get a high combo and boost his damage, so I don't know what would get you more damage, but you can test it and figure it out. But by using, every time you use Pecco, you'll basically have a Boso Hinozal Soultimate up because he has drop big. And then once you can't use either of them anymore, you could use UZ Mikey, if you had him, unlike I do. You could use them in order to fill both of their Soultimate gauges because they both have drop big. So by the time all the Puni fall down, you'll very likely have enough Puni to get their G Soultimates. Then you can use a Hinozal Soultimate, use a Pecco Soultimate, and then use another Hinozal Soultimate. So Miku has basically been replaced as her stat stick for the Shady tribe, which is very lame. But then Yotsuba is a whole nother level of awful. Yeah, sure, she's a UZ rank for Heartful. However, if you've seen my tribe tier list, go down in the description and watch it. It's very entertaining, definitely, 100%. But you'll know that Yotsuba doesn't need to be on the Heartful team because the Heartful team doesn't need her. The Heartful team, if you're running the perfect optimal team, has 3 UZs, being Summer Setsuna, Santa Natsuyomi, and Baby Doll Yu. And they also have 3 Unity bonuses, one of which being Santa Natsuyomi, another one being Orihime Natsuyomi, and the third one being Noelle. So she could only replace Noelle because Summer Setsuna is basically your cheat code to get into Fever Time before you take any damage. So it's just, there's no point to run Yotsuba because Santa Natsuyomi is going to be your damage dealer because you'll be using her and then using Orihime Natsuyomi in order to get more Santa Natsuyomi Soultimates, and you're just going to be spamming them. So you have no reason to spam a drop big select popper whose Soultimate gauge will fill when you just pop big Puni. She's supposed to be a damage dealer, but her Soultimate type is almost the worst to be a damage dealer. The only worst now is to make it an all attacker. So they're basically the same thing, except Yu has a slightly better second skill, which propels her just enough to not be the worst. But hey, it doesn't matter if you're the third worst because you're still in the absolute bottom of F tier when you could have been something amazing, like this guy. Yeah, sure, he's an all attacker, but he has Unity bonus. Revive is just not good enough in order to be used for the Slippery team. So unfortunately, while it may be a super cool looking design with the flower that I always think is a top hat, because, I don't know, she has been replaced by an older version of herself, who is just straight up better with drop big. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me dog on, thanks for watching me dog on Full Bloom U. And thanks to, Jeff for making me suffer by talking about her. But now I've got it over with, so now the next time, I probably will, talk about Summer... Natsune, yeah, Summer Natsune. I literally drew a blank. Funny enough, she also has Revive. And it shows that she heals a lot of HP. So, I mean, theoretically, you're not going to use her for, whatchamacallit, Gate of Whimsy stages because she only heals, like, almost half of her own HP. So, yeah. But I can go ahead and tell you she's way better to use than, Full Bloom U, even if she herself is also pretty mid. Thanks for watching. Bye, I guess.